Hi, my name's Thomas. Welcome to another one of my videos. I will still continue to do psychic ability videos, martial arts videos, and a bunch of other demonstrations. But I will also be starting a new series of videos about Buddhism, dharma talks, and another form of venting for me in my videos, hoping to be beneficial and inspire others with the Buddhist path as well. For those of you that don't know, I want to become a Buddhist monk in my future, so I'm on my way in practice towards my brighter future. Let's get started. So, which is better, a virtuous life or a non-virtuous life? Either a Shaolin Buddhist monk lifestyle or a punk's lifestyle? A more positive lifestyle or a more negative lifestyle? A more beneficial lifestyle or not a beneficial lifestyle? The answer to that question is monks, not punks. So, I'm practicing, I also do Tai Chi, Qigong Yoga, and Yi Jinjing. I just got done with walking and sitting meditation, 30 minutes walking, 30 minutes sitting, and I will now begin talking about Dharma in Buddhism. I also practice Thai and Mandarin Chinese, so I can be more bilingual and flexible in my future, either in Thailand or China, becoming a Buddhist monk ordaining there. So I will be sharing my experiences and knowledge of Buddhism recently. So the first one is, here it is. So I practice Buddhism because I like helping people, sharing compassion. That's a part of the Buddhist path. Peace begins when expectations end. There is no way to happiness because happiness is the way. We are reborn every second, thousands of cells being reborn and dying. Actually, let me rephrase that to the word transforming, because the word transforming in the cells and us, everything only transforms. Discriminating and saying words like dying, reborn, they are labels, which prevent us from seeing the true nature and ultimate reality in things, and that is why I am not afraid of so-called dying. So I hope you guys will join me, support me, and take this journey with me of my journey to accept nothing and accept everything, so I don't get fucked over in the end, while naturally continuing my martial arts, hobbies, compassion. And I have realized I have little patience, and I am working on that. That's one of the 10 perfections of Buddhism. And someone may say that this speech, fucked over in the end, as I mentioned earlier, is not a really holy Buddhist word for me to say. But it's just a word, a discriminating label of things. And in Buddhism, it's called wrong speech, depending on the intention and stuff being used behind it. So, it depends. I feel like I need to go more in depth about that wrong speech thing. In Buddhism, wrong speech, I can say stuff such as that as long as and you realize the true nature behind the word and the action and the intention behind it. So, it depends on the intention being used behind it, and that also plays a role in karma. You can either have good karma or bad karma, depending on the intentions behind it. So if you accidentally hit someone on accident with a door or something, you wouldn't have bad karma because your intentions behind that action were wholesome and mindful. So like I mentioned before, I am grateful for Buddhism, the Dharma, and meditation because it has helped me realize through tough times the true nature and reality of situations and to be on the right path. I've been sober for a while, 4.5 weeks or so. I haven't been drinking or smoking, and I've been around more positive influences, and that has been helping me progress properly in my practices. Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and be more beneficial and helpful in things, not just for me, but for others as well. Because I believe that our main purpose in life is to help others be more beneficial, compassionate, and more positive. And in Buddhism, there's, like the poster behind me, it says, let that shit go. Right intention, I can use that word. It's about letting go, clinging, or not clinging, and it plays a lot of roles that prevent or cease the cause of suffering. So another big goal of mine is to master my emotions, and this is from the Dhammapada, from the Buddha, 103. If one man conquer in battle 1,000 times 1,000 men, and if another conquer himself, he is the greatest of conquerors. And that also leads into the Four Noble Truths, which is a very brief essence of the Buddhist teachings. Very brief. It leaves much teachings unexplained, but starting with these, it goes more into depth, and you experience and learn more and more and more in Buddhism. So, an example of that, I will tell you guys the Four Noble Truths, and that will also lead into the Eightfold Noble Path. So, number 1, life has suffering. There is suffering. Number 2, there is a cause of suffering. Number 3, there is an end to suffering. Dukkha. As in Buddhism, it's dukkha, and then sita is mind, I think. It's a mind game. Then number 4 is the end of suffering, which is contained in the Eightfold Noble Path. And the Eightfold Noble Path, you're getting a little more deeper into Buddhism and stuff, but there's still much to learn from there. Which is why I really recommend experiencing and looking more into this. Which is right view, right intention, right mindfulness, feeling, hearing, tasting, seeing, being mindful of everything, accepting positive or negative, and not reacting, but experiencing. Right concentration, right speech, right effort, right action, right livelihood, and then more teachings continue from there. And more experiences recently involving my Buddhism and properly practicing mindfully is the fool who knows his foolishness is wise at least so far, but a fool who thinks himself wise is a fool indeed. So I can really relate to this. I'm not saying I'm wise or anything. I still have much to learn, but I will repeat that. The fool who knows his foolishness is wise at least so far, but a fool who thinks himself wise, he is called a fool indeed. And then, as many of you know, I do martial arts, Kung Fu, and a bunch of other stuff and hobbies. Because of my OCD, I have a natural tendency to continue to learn with an open mind and stuff. So, recently, people have been fighting, and I asked myself, why do people have to fight? It's pointless. It all comes from the true nature of anger. I do martial arts for health and discipline. It all comes from anger, so if you must fight me, I will fight back with love, compassion, and kindness, and if that doesn't work, I will fight with honor and challenge myself by giving them a knife, hoping they will realize where the aversion is coming from Me knowing that the knife will not end up in me, but them. And if it does end up in me, then I still will be satisfied, knowing it's better to try and to fail than to fail to try. Aversion is a big problem daily in life, and you have to learn to decrease that aversion in Buddhism. What's done is finished, and I'll say more Dhammapada verses. Let no man ever look for what is pleasant or what is unpleasant. Not to see what is pleasant is pain, and it is pain to see what is unpleasant. Let therefore no man love anything. Loss of the beloved one is evil. Those who love nothing and hate nothing have no fetters. From pleasure comes grief, from pleasure comes fear. He who is free from the pleasure knows neither grief nor fear. The affection comes grief, from affection comes fear. He who is free from affection knows neither grief nor fear. And then this next one is lust. And I do not have lust. I love everyone as an equal, no matter their race, who they are, gender. I share the equal amount of love and compassion as if they are my brothers and sisters, knowing that lust will prevent and clog up my chakras and psychic abilities and getting in the way of the more virtuous Buddhist lifestyle. So from lust comes grief, from lust comes fear. He who is free from lust knows neither grief nor fear. From love comes grief, from love comes fear. He who is free from love knows neither grief nor fear. From greed comes grief, from greed comes fear. He who is free from greed knows neither grief nor fear. There's this funny story about this monk I heard talk about. This dude was levitating, a monk was levitating, flying, and one thought of lust instantly made him drop down to the ground, probably because concentration and stuff, but there's a bunch of other roles being played in it. But let a man overcome anger by love, let him overcome evil by good, and let him overcome the greedy by liberality, and the liar by truth. Buddhism has helped me a lot in realizing certain things, and the need for realizing will also get in the way. If you naturally just practice Buddhism properly in your practices, then realization, understanding, and true insight of nature and the ultimate reality will naturally come. But if you want that, that is another aversion that you will have to decrease. But another thing I would like to share and vent with is school. Right speech. The school system is fucked up. Our freedom of speech and our rights are limited there. Not my words, one of the attendants working there. You cannot cuss, you cannot truly express yourself. You get judged, you can't, if someone sees your shoulder or bra strap, they freak out. All sorts of stuff and discrimination there. And I've realized in prison, you can cuss, you don't have to pay for rent, you don't have to pay for food. And there's a monk in prison too. You can truly express yourself and a whole bunch of other stuff. Because it is a mind game. It's all in the mind. I will always win because it is a mental game, and you have to escape the suffering in a productive way and escape the mental prison. That being said, there is always a positive outlook on things, and I hope this video inspired others to do more good. And I'm also going to answer this one question I got the other day. My necklace that I'm wearing right now, it is a DZ bead, or a D's bead, and it is from Nepal, and it has a lot of runes, and it's Buddhist monks mainly wear it to help them reach enlightenment and other beliefs of positivity and stuff. But that is what it is. It's a DZ bead. One more thing before I go. Like and subscribe, share this video. How you guys like my new look? I am bald. It'll help my crown chakra and other stuff. But another thing I wanted to say is smile more. Every morning, Ajahn Braham, he's a really funny monk, and I believe humor is really important, but experience that humor mindfully and not react. But he exercises with 10 smiles every morning, and I recommend you guys smile more as well, because every time you smile, it sends endorphins and other chemical changes to the brain, which mentally and physically make you more happy. So, yeah. Namaste.